Okay, Dr. Mindy here, and on this video, we're, believe it or not, going to answer a very common question that you all ask me, which is, why am I passing gas while I'm fasting? What is going on? So if you are new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. I am a woman on a mission to get 1 million people fasting. I really hope you'll see in all my fasting videos here that there is an incredible gift in fasting that we tap into, and it can heal the body like nothing I've ever seen. So I'm really excited to share it with you. And on this video, just wait until I tell you exactly why gas is being passed, because there's some really cool reasons for it. So welcome, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and let's dive in and address farting and fasting.
Pioneer in the fasting
Do a long fast one day, your blood sugar going up and down.
We're in it together.
It's a funny question. We get a lot from you all. We have had numerous comments. People want to know why they pass more gas when they're fasting. I've also heard bloating. Why do I have more bloating? Why am I constipated? Why do I have the runs? These all kind of fall into the same category. So I wanted to leave a video for you all and really break it down. So let's get right to it. What I'm going to address on this video is 3 things. Why does it happen? Is it good or bad? And what are some strategies? So let's start with why it's happening. One of the things about fasting that I do not feel like gets recognized or highlighted enough is that you are making lasting changes in your body. When we look at things like autophagy, you are making lasting changes with autophagy, but what you may or may not realize is you're making lasting changes with your microbiome. So the longer you fast, the more microbiome changes are going to happen. Hopefully you all know that I love the 24-hour fast. When you fast all day like that, research shows is that you reboot stem cells in the gut and you go into this really incredible repair phase in the gut. So the length of fast really matters. It's quite possible that one of the reasons why you start to have more gas, you start to get more bloated, is because you literally are creating a positive change in the microbiome in your gut. This is a good thing. We want this. This is a long-term game sort of piece to fasting. So when we make these changes in a 24-hour fast, what we're seeing is that there will be the second thing, which is as the terrain changes in your gut, bacteria that have bad bacteria that have been running the roost in there die off. And in that die-off, there can be these adverse gut changes. One of them is leading to more gas. So could you look at that, your increase of farting, your increase of bloating, as it's a die-off of the bad stuff that's no longer serving you? So that's the first thing that I want you to really look at. The second thing that I want to say about fasting, and this is a piece that's really interesting, is on the inside of your gut often sticks toxins. So toxins like leftover from wheat that might not be able to be broken down, some of the harmful oils that you may have been exposed to. It's like layers of wallpaper on the inside of the mucosal lining of your gut. And as we fast, as intestinal stem cells come in, those stem cells are going to start to repair this mucosal lining, take this toxic residue that's on the inside of your gut, it's going to break it down so it can get it out for expulsion, which is great. This is amazing. You want that. But you have been raised in a healthcare system that has taught you symptoms are bad. But when we look at fasting and we get symptoms, could it quite possibly be that those symptoms are a sign of repair? This happens with something like a fever. If you think about it, a fever, as much as we don't like it, the body's raising its temperature to burn out an infection. Could it be that you're farting more because all the bad in the gut is being broken down and getting ready to be exit out of your body? And that is a great thing. So when we go to the second piece of this, which is this good or bad, the first question to ask yourself is, what is your microbial history? What have you done to this gut of yours? Have you been on a lot of antibiotics? Have you had been on birth control for decades? Have you been eating toxic processed foods? If the answer is yes, then your body's going into this incredible repair phase that is causing more gas. And so therefore, yay, this is great. Let's get the bad out as the new starts to emerge. So if the more damage to your gut, the more of these constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gas, more of those symptoms are going to show up. Second thing, I truly believe that fasting is a mirror. So whatever shows up when you fast is like your body pointing at you and telling you what to work on. So if you start getting a lot of gas, then it's quite possible, guess what? Your work needs to be on the gut. And I've done a lot of videos on how to repair the gut. My team will leave some links in here for you to go and watch those. But instead of villainizing it, could we just say, interesting body, you are asking me, you're showing me where the repair needs to be. And that is a beautiful thing. Third thing is understand that these symptoms that emerge, especially in the beginning, these adverse symptoms, everything from farting to constipation to rashes to brain fog, they should be temporary. Because fasting, although a lot of you come to fasting to lose weight, what's happening is that you are getting rid of the old. And when we get rid of the old and the new emerges in that transition moment, oftentimes you will feel worse, but it should be temporary. If it's not, then there's a deeper issue that you've got to go look at. Okay, last thing. What are our solutions? Because it's kind of like rashes, keto breath, farting, constipation. These are not enjoyable symptoms to be walking through life. And so is there this moment that you're like, wait a second, I need a little bit of a break from them, or I want to move through getting rid of the old as quickly as possible? If that's what you're thinking, there's a couple things I want to point out. First, this is a huge one. Fasting creates a hormetic stress. Now, this is really important because we want a hormetic stress. A hormetic stress that says that you fast to the point of where you're just a little bit uncomfortable or your body has a adverse reaction, because it's in that discomfort that your body repairs. Anybody who's been on a fitness plan knows this. When we go and we work out, we work ourselves to a place of discomfort typically so that the body can start to build itself stronger. If everything you do for the body in your health plan is comfortable, you're not going to create a body that builds stronger over time. So you want to go right to that edge of a hormetic stress. We don't want to leave you there a long period of time, but we want to be right at that edge where it's like, okay, I'm a little uncomfortable now, got a lot of gas, got a lot of bloating, and then you can break your fast. And I highly recommend in this scenario, you break your fast with one of the 3 Ps that I talk about, the polyphenol, the probiotic, and the prebiotic foods. So remember that, because we have been taught that symptoms are bad, but when you're dealing with self-healing, you want to go right to the edge of that symptom. It's okay if it's a little temporary discomfort, because that's where the body adapts. Second thing, there are supplements that can help you through this process. So one of my favorite is microbiome. This is one of the best gut supports that's out there. What it does is it helps to repair the mucosal lining of your gut, plus it improves microbial communication. This is something that I take every single day, and I highly recommend that you do. And if you want more information on it, just put microbiome in the comments and my team will send you a link. But this to me is a non-negotiable in my health plan. I definitely want to make sure that every morning when I wake up, I do a tablespoon of microbiome so I can improve the terrain in my gut, I can improve the microbial connection. Second supplement that I often lean into when there's this adverse change in the microbiome from fasting, and that is enzymes. So the enzyme I like is called NZ. It breaks down carbohydrates. If you want this link, just put NZ in your comments. My team will send you that link. And the cool thing about NZ is that it can take that stuff that's stuck on the side walls, especially if you know that you've had like a gluten intolerance or you've had a lot of toxic oils. What NZ will do is you want to take it on an empty stomach so it can break those down. I've also done this with patients where I'll have them take it in the middle of a fast when they start to notice that they're farting more, they start to notice that they're bloating more. I'll have them take 2NZ to be able to start to move those bad bacteria, move anything that's coming off the side walls and break it down and get it out of them. It really is quite miraculous how that works. Okay, and then the third thing, if this is happening to you, you're passing gas when you fast, I want to encourage you to stay off of a few key ingredients. The very first one is wheat. There are so many people out there with gluten intolerances, and just because you're not like having an anaphylactic shock from gluten doesn't mean you don't have a gluten intolerance. The number one challenge of gluten for most people, the number one symptom is brain fog. So is it possible that you've got some foods you need to avoid? I would start with gluten. The second one is a lot of people have trouble breaking down dairy unless it's raw. I know in my household we do a lot of raw dairy or goats or sheep. Those can make a big difference because the pasteurized cow's dairy can be even if it's organic, can be very difficult for the gut to break down. So get rid of gluten, try getting rid of dairy. And then the third one is really those harmful processed oils like canola oil, cottonseed, corn oil, soybean oil. These are really toxic to the microbiome, and they can make it very difficult for your intestinal tract to be able to pull nutrients out of your food and expel toxins. So I would really mind your oils and make sure that you're doing good oils, not bad oils. And I've done a lot of videos on that. But again, I think my biggest advice to you, as fun as it is to talk about why are you farting when you're fasting, is I really want you to go investigate. It's not a bad thing. It's common. It's so common I did a video on it. It's so common you all asked me. So it's not that fasting's not working for you. Fasting works for everybody. And fasting is a mirror. So what is that mirror telling you? What is it that you need to work on? And if you're farting, it's time to work on the microbiome. I really would lean into these solutions that I talked about. I would fast more so you create that hormetic stress, grab yourself some supplements, and let's look at what foods you need to avoid. So it's really cool because fasting can be repair and it can be diagnostic. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope this was helpful. It's like one of those funny things about fasting that it's like we need to be able to chat about. So thank you for your questions. If you have applied these 3 things in your fasting lifestyle, put in the comments if you've noticed a temporary change in your gut behavior, and then the longer you've stayed with fasting, tell us your story in the comments so that we can all learn from it. If you need more help with this, we're helping people customize fasting in our Reset Academy. Just put Reset Academy and my team will send you a link. Everybody's path with fasting is completely different. So I'm teaching you the principles here, and then your job is to customize it for your life. And if you need help with that, that's what we do in my Reset Academy. As always, you guys rock. Thank you for your questions. Don't give up on yourself. And now you have the answer on why you fart when you fast. Hope you enjoy it.